Echo. We are doing the dang thing.
Look, you back in there?
We are in here. Stream is live, so yeah. So, if you skip the first one, that was quali. This is the race, and Bingram is on pole by 0.3 of a second with a 1:14.8 something. Season 6, race 1, Grand Prix of Mexico, 36 laps in the sun. Well, it better be the sun. I need to, the spectator button, there we go. Okay.
For some reason, this is not a very popular track. You know, you don't see a lot of this track used in random lobbies. So every time people have to race for a league race, they typically almost have to learn it again. So it's really interesting to see the learning curve on this track.
Well, that warehouse map in Halo Infinite isn't very good either, but that keeps popping up a lot. It's part of the reason I stopped playing the game. But, you know, it's probably because people, it's like you mentioned earlier, it's more technical. It's also fast, but it doesn't have the, like I mentioned, it's got a history, but it's kind of a meh history. It's been there. It's a solid track, but it doesn't blow you away like the Spas or Monzas of the world, so. Zero gearing up here for the actual race. So they're gonna have to set the order. Oh yeah! Wow! Wow! Bingram sneaking in at the end again. He's got the cheese. I love cheese, man. I got this slices of blue cheese that go on hamburgers, man. That's just dang. Alright, so.
Are you a foodie?
I like to cook. I also can't stand ranch. I'm an American. I hate ranch. I don't hate ranch, but blue cheese is better. Condiment.
Nobody's perfect. Are you still okay with me?
Where are you located?
Right now, I currently live in Missouri. I've been out here for about 26 years, but I'm originally a Los Angeles, so I'm a Californian, a Los Angelino, but I've been transplanted here in Missouri for the last quarter of a century.
Yeah, I'm originally in New York, and I've been in South Carolina for the last third of a century, so there's that. And I wanted to move to LA a couple of years ago, but that just never happened.
Yeah, LA's one of them kind of places everybody should visit, but nobody should really live there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I kind of feel that way too. I think Florida's kind of in the same boat, but who knows?
Yeah, I'm starting to go New York in that area too. Some of these major, cities and states are just really starting to go off the rails a little bit. I'm looking around at people like, okay, come on now, bring me back to something I recognize, you know?
It's a discussion for another day, as we got 30 seconds left. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20 grid deep on this, and we will see what happens. Bingram ran away with that preseason race early on, but you saw what happened. Will history repeat itself today? Will Patty Pat step up? Just Coconuts make a statement? Can Drunk Pirate take Ferrari back to the glory lands? Let's see. As we take our warm-up lap, hopefully with no technical difficulties. There's a lot of DHL deliveries in Mexico. At least no rain. I don't think it ever rains in Mexico, like once in history. I remember a couple of years ago, we went to Cancun. You flew into Mexico City. That is not overwhelming, over intimidating city. Just the size of that city. It's like, it's really hard. An airplane is hard to take in. I've been to New York. It's not as hard to take in as Mexico City. It is ridiculous.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about it. My little brother just came back from Cancun a couple of days ago. He said that was really nice. He enjoyed himself out there, you know.
Yeah.
He's back in California, but he enjoyed himself in Mexico.
Yeah, the locals. No, I'd put it this way. I got laughed at for wearing a sunblock down there. There's our predictive pit stop strategy. You got 2 stops. If you want the hard, you get to pit a little bit earlier. If you want the mediums, those never go that way, though. We just mention it because there's going to be safety cars. I mean, this isn't NASCAR, but there's going to be safety cars, so we're going to see something's going to happen. But it is worth knowing that Silverstone race that we did in the preseason, maybe 2 towards the end. Just kind of shook up stuff, but if you're good at that strategy, you can play into that. And if you're a gambler, most of the time those gambles work out, and going to the hards don't really work out in the end. So, yeah, Bingram and Tinto on the front too. I thought Bevo was third, but maybe Tinto came in. I think Bevo disconnected or locked in early, and then Tinto might have bounced him right at the end.
Splendor made it back. He's 13th. Okay. All down there starting 20th. Curious to see how fast he moves up the grid.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and bring up, since we had to restart the broadcast. All our details are done. So who's starting on what? We got Penguin on the mediums. Some of the guys towards the back playing strategy on the mediums as well. We'll bring up the full track map, which is a mini map in my opinion because it's small scale, but that's just me. I should rename that. You see this course, the section they're in now is one of 2 DRS zones. Well, I take it back, there's 3 DRS zones. That's a really short and almost pointless DRS zone going into Sector 3. But that one through the front straight is probably going to see most of the passing, as we'll see over-aggressors try to outbrake one another going into Turn 1. Turn 2 depends on how well somebody gets off of, how much traction is gotten coming off of that first section. As we line up here, the heat glowing. I wish they gave us like fake temperature and stuff like that. That'd be cool. It's 140 degrees right now in Mexico. The rubber's just melting.
Yeah, I'd like it so that when people are spectating and whatnot, that they gave us more options, gave us a little more detail, gave us some telemetry back there, you know.
And we are green off the start. Tintoretto got a really good start. Bingram shuffled off the line. Tintoretto taking the drag race all the way down into Turn 1. Very clean start. We have somebody that went way to the left. That's a Rebel. It's probably Boyer. On the outside, Tintoretto. Wow, clean sweep to get in to the section. Ooh, they are real tight through here. There's bumping and grinding here between Lucifer and Boyer as they get off. Go ahead.
True, and maybe Natty had a little bump fest there, but it is really packed. It's really packed right now.
Tintoretto, brilliant start. Bingram, a little bit too much on that clutch there at the start, I guess. But he got that. Bingram has plenty of time to make this stick. Bevo right behind him. Jonesy, Boyer, and Pirate.
Pulaski and Pigman.
We see somebody having fallen back here. Side by side here. Penguins losing 2 spots on the mediums. Is getting out-dueled in the handling section. It's showing this mediums might come back to bite him starting that early. Estav's got that fresh grip off the line. Not at the temperature yet, but clearly making a difference.
Well, Harris is making quite a few moves. He's fighting it out with Sinister. He kind of took a head on him, and Sinister's trying to fight back. They had a little contact, some more contact. I'm sure the stewards would definitely be having a conversation about this. Oh, crazy Sinister. Sinister is buck wild right now. Sinister Crazy is driving like his namesake. Sir, please calm down.
Sinister's kind of ballsy. You see Pulowski got spun out. Teammate 2, Bingram. Tintoretto is 10 spots ahead of his counterpart, Harris, who is currently in 11th.
I think the problem with starting on these mediums is kind of like, even though they would give you a lot more long range effect in relative to the soft tire, when everything is all clustered together right here, they just don't seem to have the heat in the tires to be able to keep up with these soft tires right now. So all the guys in mediums are being pushed further and further back in the grid. They're going to have to depend on safety cars and things like that to catch up, you know?
Yeah, you got to look at those first 2 sections of this circuit, and, a better handling compound is going to get you through there quicker. I mean, across the board, even if it's not up to speed, you have equal heat at that point. So I can see starting in the back of the mediums and letting everything play out in front of you, but clearly did not work out, as Arctic Penguin has said, screw it. I guess he's listening. He went back in for softs. It's like, yeah, this ain't working. So he pitted. Tintoretto keeps bouncing up. He's got a second lead on Bingram right now.
Yeah, it looks like Pulowski went in for the hard. That's going to be interesting to see how far he can push them bad boys here.
Well, if you got spun out one in the back anyways right in front of the pitch, you might as well go ahead and take that buckle. Strategy may play in for them down the road and come back for both of them as we have ass-to-ass competition here between Alpha and Haas. Bevo and Jonesy right on it. I don't know if DRS is not enabled yet. Lucifer nailed with the 3-second penalty, the first for Ferrari. They're neck and neck, 6 and 7. Boyer pitted already. I guess he wasn't happy or he spun out. Actually, looks like he might have spun out. This I don't know. I'm sitting there looking at Boyer. I don't know if everybody else saw that, but the shadows didn't load for Boyer, so it looked like the car was floating. Bingham catching Teneretto now back within a second. Okay, Boyer's just lagging.
Yeah, because he dropped from 20th to 5th. Something's going on with his car. Something's going on with the data. He's got to be really frustrated, but he's hitting his lines well. He's not letting it affect his driving skill. That's for sure.
Tinto, Bingham, Bevo still there for Jonesy's been on that tail since the start. Can he get around Bevo? We're going to see what happens when this zone opens, but we still get somebody's out in turn 2. That is AFS Natty is out. The Natter Day is out of the race.
Jones almost made a move on Bevo. Did not work out. Oh, you know what? Right in the
safety car.
Yeah, Jones started making his move on Bevo, and then the safety car flag came out, so he had to back off.
We're on board Pulowski here. Let's see if we get an eyesight of where Natterday was. It already went by. Don't get to see it. I really hope that they would do something with the director portion of this. All right, so where we're at now, we're going to assume Boyer's in 5th, just based on the lag. Tinto.
Yeah, he is actually looking to see what driver was physically in front of him. And he wasn't the correct chasing the right person there.
Tinto, going back at the start once again. Tinto with I wouldn't say a marvelous start. Both of them seemed to really hold the clutch in as long as they could. He just got a less worse start than Bingham. I don't know if it necessarily bunched up the field, but nobody really launched off. I mean, we saw last week at the start of the race, I think it was Dylan jumped like 6 positions from the start. I mean, that's pretty ridiculous. So. Not today on that, but we are full safety car. I don't even see the safety car out yet. I guess it'll come out right now. Bingham or Tinto's in the pits. I guess they're going to go ahead and get these mediums out of the way. As Sue follows suit, the strategy top 3 go in. Jonesy will inherit the lead, stick on those softs. I think that's a good decision. Both Jonesy and Boyer stay out.
I think now he's going to be pretty disappointed because I'm sure he expected to have a major impact in his first race here in Tier 2. He's one of the guys that I'm looking for to try to compete for that championship. So to be knocked out, in the first couple of laps of the first race of the season, it's got to be really, really frustrating considering how much time you pour into preparing yourself for your race.
That's why it's early, and I believe the way the points work in this is they throw out your worst race. So not the worst thing in the world for him, especially, or anybody that goes out. Got 2 guys on hards, Crew and Pulowski are on hards. Everybody mostly on the mediums. Everybody that pitted went mediums. Blandy's still out there on 4-lap old mediums. I got to depend on a safety car again, maybe to help them out. They got a safety car the next couple laps again that would actually benefit 1 through 7 very much. Paddy Pad up to 7th now. Now look, it's the only Mercedes that's led a lap in the 2022 season for Formula 1. It's the AMS GT pace car. This Mercedes continues to struggle. Well, not necessarily Mercedes, just, Lewis Hamilton. But,
I'm over here talking to you. I'm like, how come he's not responding? I'm like, what's up? My bad.
Oh, yeah?
I'm over here trying to munch stuff so I can pick my sugar levels back up. I was like, man, I was pretty bad off when this race first started. So I'm getting stronger, but in order to eat, I've got to turn my mic off as I do.
Do what you got to do. Smacking every time. Here we go. Still looking at about 2 laps to go here. Again, just to recap the start of this race. Got spaced out fairly quickly. Tends to happen in Mexico, but the drag race from the start down the long straight went to Tinto. Bingham had the pole by 0.3 of a second. Tinto had a better better launch. And then we saw a lot of bumping in the mid-pack. We saw Arctic Penguin get shuffled back because he's the only one in the top 10 that started on mediums. And the Natter Day, at some point spun out, I guess caused a massive explosion on the track, and they had to bring out the safety car. So we are in Mexico, 6 of 36. Got two guys looking to go at least until probably lap 30 on those hards. I believe that'd be very possible. Might be to the brim. But I think we will definitely see another safety car. Got to get those first race jitters out and stuff happen. So
I'd imagine Jones and all the guys in the top five really would hope that there'd be another safety car within the next 4 or 5 laps, because they can't go too far on the soft.
Well, we'll see how well these guys race. We need to pay attention to Tintel and Bingham. I know they're on mediums, but these guys are the two that can push the envelope and get back up through the field if necessary. Because honestly, the 5-lap softs, like, they're just kind of coming into their own, even though they've cooled off a little bit right now, but they are literally just coming into their own.
And look at Paul quietly sneaking up into 14th on the soft. He's not done. He's absolutely not done.
Crew Streamer's went in the back for some reason. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
And we are green. Jonesy clean off, but look behind. The two Ferraris challenging the Red Bull side by side, pushing the limit, pushing the issue. Who's going to run it here? 3 wide. Going into turn 1, clean by Jonesy. A little bit of a lockup there from Harris.
Looks like we have no contact with Patty Patton's plenty, too.
Also, Harris and Lucifer. Drunk takes third.
He was just off the track. I don't know if he got shoved there a little bit or he just kind of gave away, but he was completely off the track. Lost his position to CSB Harris. And, Lucifer also has a 3-second penalty. Oh, boy. Sorry, Lucifer. I still knocked you down, buddy.
Was already looking pretty impressive in this race. More impressive than most last year. Can he hold it together and get through the end of the race? Penalties are one thing. There's going to be a lot. Always is. A drunk pirate, his teammate. I think the more important thing when you look at the top 10 as a whole, you got Ferrari's about the only manufacturer that's going to be running close with each other. Jonesy, his teammate is Simster down in 12th. We know what Simster's capable of. But we'll have to see how the race plays out right now. It's nice to see constructors close together in the top 10, though. Although, they didn't pit.
Well, we got both Williams right now in the top 10 as well, between Patty, Pat, and Paul. And I think that might take a little exception. I got a feeling both these guys feel as if they can individually win this title. So the constructions is definitely under threat. I'll
tell you this much. The mediums look pretty detrimental here because Paul K went up 5 spots on the straight as we're on board right now with them. But Teneretto, the former leader of this race.
Laying down, is he? He is not laying down.
Not laying down. Oh, we got a Ferrari off, and that's Lucifer. Probably got to stop mentioning his name because that commentator's curse. Again, he cannot. Too much pushing there. He's going to shuffle to the back. Boyer now in second in the Red Bull. Jonesy.
Something must have happened with Crew as well, because he's down to 19. Last I looked at him, he was in 13, so they had that little scramble up front. He must have knocked him back.
But don't look now. Bingram is up to 6th on the mediums. Bevo, Teneretto, a former top 3, already getting by the ones that were in front. Eyeing the Pat Patterson. Here we go. Jump to the inside here. Nothing for Bingram. Harris is right there as well. They are bunched up here. Oh, a little bit of contact. Got that contact. Harris.
If anything, that affected Patty Pat. It shouldn't have affected Harris, but Patty Pat might have a problem with his wing. I can't really see. No, he's not. He's okay.
Well, it said DRS is enabled. I'm not seeing any flaps open yet, so it's kind of strange. But on the outside, Pat trying to go into turn 1, but I'm not think he's going to get it. Got to back off.
Way to be patient, Patty Pat.
T&T letting it all play out in front of him, but you got Paul K right behind him. He's made up positions as well. He's better acclimated on not necessarily fresh mediums, but he's on peaking softs to take advantage of the grip through this section as he hops the curb just a little bit. Paul K now Boyer lagging again, throwing off the whole field, but Paul K on the outside.
Paul K did not even qualify. The band started 20th. And here he is in the 8th place pushing.
Oh, yeah, that's what he do. He's got the capabilities. And somebody's way off. Harris said, screw it. He couldn't take the pressure. He just moved out the way, but Paul K, for some reason, got a penalty on that, speaking of the devil. Bevo also with the penalty. Woo, that was a tight section there. These four are in sync when it comes to braking and accelerating. They're all just grouped together. This is really insane. Is Dark Pirate's going to open the flap? I guess not. There's the DRS zone. There it is. It's open now. He's going to make the pass here on Boyer. He's going to run. Is there enough room there to do it, though? It's a long straight. Boyer, there we go. Pirate to the inside. Takes it from Boyer clean.
Ooh, Bevo's trying to make a move on Patty, and he does make the successful move.
Yeah,
Patty going to come back. Yes, he does. Wow, what a battle. That's Paul. I'm sorry. What a battle. What a battle between Bevo and Paul.
Well,
really going at it.
You can see M next to Bingham for the mediums, but that actually stands for monsters. He has made up like 6 spots here. He gets past everybody that was in his way. He's eyeing that lead again. Because right now his only competition still trailing back in 7th. Didn't come with the flow. Bevo also in 6th. We got somebody down in sector 1. I don't see anything on the map. Fakies. Sector 3 now. Fakies. But we do see Paul K going way off.
Yeah. Speaking of Paul K, oh man, he was all the way within. Nope. He had dropped all the way to 5th, I believe. Now he's falling down the hill. The penalties aren't going to help him much either. To tell you, he did a lot of fighting to wind up with penalties to hurt his efforts.
Jonesy on 10 laps here. Soft, so was Pirate. But David Boyer's going to look to come back, but you see Bingham 2.8, just letting it play out in front. Pat is hanging here. So you got the DRS open. We got kind of a train going there with Bevo and Tintoretto, though. And in turn 1, nothing there. Pushes it in a little bit harder. Pat.
Pigman's trying to make the move on Paul. Unsuccessful. That seems to be a very popular corner there to make a move. I need to try that tomorrow. I will try that tomorrow. Unfortunately, that's one of the hardest turns on the track for me. This whole track is very, very I wouldn't say difficult, just surprisingly challenging. But it doesn't look like it should be. It should be like, it almost looks like it should be the F1 version of an oval. But it's a little bit more than that.
Now you got to hit they're all tight corners for the most part, except through this section. I mean, you got to hit those apexes. Make sure you're quick and maintain grip. So.
Use a lot of curb.
Yes. There's a lot of runoff here. There's that, too. He's a lot of curb. Jonesy up to 3.8. He's starting to pull away a little bit, but we do know that they will have to pit. And right now, this strategy worked out for Bingham. Maybe not so much for Bevo and Tintoretto, but they're still coming. 7/10 now on the softs or Pat on 11 laps. And then not enough to do anything. He's getting close. He'd have to dart to the inside and force something, but it's just not going to be there. If he can maneuver through here, but we are going to start seeing these softs fall off some for these top 3 that did not pit. As you see Harris back in 13th. He's in 11 laps as well. Boyer's 3rd. I mean, something. It's just his timing's way off. There's something up with his DSL connection or something. We got Mayonnaise here. Well, not Mayonnaise anymore. Pat. Still holding off Bingham, or he got around him. I'm taking it back. He did get around him through a section. And I guess at this point, you just kind of let them use those tires up if you're Bingham in front of them because you know your time's coming. I mean, even at this point, if we see a safety car now, even if they're on 6-lap mediums, I think if you're Bingham, Tintoretto, or Bevo, anybody who pitted before, I say at that point you pit again so it re-evens the playing field because they're going to have to go to mediums. Let's see here on the front stretch. Let's see if Bingham comes back here. Mouse, 3-second penalty. Mouse is running in 11th. Sure, we're looking at here. Flaps are open, and we have Pat darting back across the track a little bit uncautious. non-cautious. It's kind of a deep little block there, putting the spectators at risk. Well, we got swing move here. Oh, dart to the inside, the outbreak. They bump each other. He's got position on the inside. Pat does. Bold move there by Bingram. Yeah, Tinnerello coming a little bit hot there. They might have made contact with his front wing. Won't be able to tell from this angle. As he's four in a chain. Gonna wonder at this point if Pat is just holding up Bingram, trying to swing it. Let's see if he can get any type of gap on the outside or the far inside. Here it is again. Bingram does get around. Is he going to make it stick? Yes, he does. It takes a chop there on Patty Pat. He cut that apex pretty short. These two are battling. Who's down in sector 2? I don't see anybody not moving. But this will mean Pat should have a run here for the DRS.
I can't believe they're able to go so long on these soft tires. Looking at both Patty Pat and Jonesy, wow, that's just really amazing.
And back here.
He's still passing people with those tires, too. It's not like he's just got old tires and just hanging out there. Patty Pat is still making moves as he did on Bingham.
I think there's a race last year we saw the limit of those be like 26 laps on the softs because we had a couple people that could actually make it work and still put up good times. Really impressive. But here we go again, Bingram right behind. I wish I knew where Boyer was at officially. It says he's in the pits. I wonder if Boyer got disconnected at this point because it says he's in the pits and he's still rolling around the track. So
I'm looking at Crew. He must have went in and got some stops. It's hard. We're working out too well for him. Get that.
Back in 17th, his teammate Splandy in 9th. Paul K, his teammate Patty Pat, 2nd so far. We're just going to assume the Boyer's in 19th. Maybe he got disconnected, so we're going to leave it as is. It hasn't moved. Dealing with the penalty. Jonesy, though, 7 seconds.
Left a little extra room there. Oh, man. Right there. Yeah. Something's got to happen. Something's got to happen to reel him back in there. If not, he's going to run away with this one.
Oh, it'll be a safety car. He's going to have to pit, but he might be able to make these work for a while. He keeps gaining. Bingram around Pat now on the straight. Ooh, tight pass there by Bevo. Last second get around. Devo.
Patty Pat seemed to get out of his way for a very long time to the extent that I wondered if something was wrong with his tires. I was like, why did he all of a sudden, why was he so agreeable? It's not typically his style. He doesn't race dirty, but he's going to make you earn the position if you take it from him. And that time he just let it go.
Bevo. Bingram. Now the countdown's on. 6.7 to make up. We're almost halfway through this race. 3 laps to the halfway mark. What's going to happen? It's been tight racing, but there hasn't been anything to threaten with a huge accident.
That's the problem with Jonesy here. We got just a section. Okay, just a red yellow flag. I don't like the flag. Thought we had a safety car for a minute there. But it looks like Bingham's got 9-lap mediums and Jonesy has 14 laps soft. So that's why we're seeing that time starting to come down. And Jonesy's coming in to change his tires right now.
Jonesy, yeah, he is in. Bingram will inherit the lead again. Bevo is 2nd. The pole sitter, Tintoretto, already pitted and went to softs. He's back in 10th.
And look at Paul. The man started 20th. He's currently sitting in the podium position right now in 3rd place.
But he will have to pit.
Lots to pit. Lots to pit. At the halfway point, who's the driver at the halfway point?
Oh, it's Bingram. It's Bingram. Not a great start, but then let it all happen. Came back in the pit and just played the strategy, inherited the lead. If we get to lap 20 and we see a safety car, you're going to see everybody that's on aging tires coming for softs. Except for Paul K, he'll have to go to mediums, which to me he should pit now. If I'm Paul, I'm looking to pit now. And that way, if you get a safety car, as we have something in Sector 2, I don't see anything stopping on the track. Then the way he could jump back to softs, if after a couple laps there's a safety car.
You know, it's kind of hard to agree sometimes to pit when you see the guy behind you is not making up any ground, and that's what the current situation is. He's not a senator is not making up any significant ground on Paul. So as a result, he's probably staying out there. But we'll see right now. He'll either hit the straight or hit the pit lane any second now.
Our pole sitter hit with a penalty. His race is definitely fall off as we do see somebody. Yeah, Bevo in the pits. Simster jumps to second. Pigman Mayor Bear Pig was the third. Jonesy comes out fourth. That really worked out for him. As we see the ghost of David Boyer run around the track to lapper. I'm assuming he got disconnected, but it still shows him in the race.
That's going to be interesting because Jonesy doesn't plan to pit if he's going to take those bad boys to the end.
Yeah,
everybody in front of him has to pit. So at some point, he'll inherit the first place and see if he can hold it.
Yeah, that's the best thing for him right now. He could end up winning this race on strategy, but there's a safety car. All bets are off, but we are right now still looking at Bingham in the leader with 5.8.
It seems to be like there's a lot of distance between the cars. Everything's pretty well spread out. Going through lap 17, everyone's really somewhat familiar with the track. So I'd be hard-pressed to assume we're going to get a safety car. I would bet we do not.
That's how Mexico works. Everybody gets spaced out in Mexico. There's a couple tight sections and some long straightaways, so clean air plays a big part. It's Paul K, yeah, on the hards to just take it all the way home. But the thing is, I think it could take it all the way home on the mediums. So, bit of a strange play there for Paul.
What is that? How do you pronounce his name? Tintoretto?
Yeah.
Tintoretto, you just made a move on Pulowski there. Back in sixth place. That seemed to be the closest battle at the time. And we got Paul. Okay, but is Paul in the pit? He shouldn't be driving like that. What's going on? What's got to be?
Pat on mediums, Pulowski on the 15 hards. He's just waiting for something to happen. Sector 3 sees nobody. A couple guys in the pits right now. It seems so. Did come back out in the softs. He might be able to get that to the end of the race. We were halfway through. If you're good, then they can last 18, but you got to prove that you can do it there at the end. Like I said, we have seen it go. I'm sure, it's simulated as more hotter here than it was. I think that race was at, where was it? I don't remember. I want to say it was Silverstone. Drunk Pirate quietly in fifth again. Jonesy does get around. He is in fourth now. He's eyeing these top three who will have to pit.
I was noticing CFB Harris absolutely has the fastest lap, but being knocked out of the race is not going to give him the point he needed. Currently, that fastest lap at the station would stick with Tintoretto. He's at 117.461, but getting closer to the end of the race, people jumping back in there with softs, with the lower gas on their car. I got a feeling that fastest lap is going to be broken.
Right now, I think Jonesy's in a good position, but Bingham can't underestimate his ability to make the setup work, to make the tires work, to be fast and maintain that grip and that longevity long term. He's up to 8-second lead. So
yep. I'm looking at Paddy Pat right now, and I'm seeing that he's one of the very few drivers that doesn't have any penalties. There's a couple times where I thought he would typically make the move as he does. He backed off. It's almost as if the plan is just to stay out of trouble, let everyone else kind of rack up penalties and then slide up there from good, clean racing etiquette. So,
speaking of penalties, Bingham is hit with one as we have our penalties up right now. Bevo, who was running second, actually has a 6-second penalty. Coconuts is out, sector 3. Did he park it and cancel? No safety car. You know it's brewing outside passing here with Bevo and Pat. Back of the tire breakdown. Bevo pushing the issue, probably why he got a 6-second penalty. Bingham is in the pits now, so Simster will take over. Bingham will probably go to the softs. I think there's something brewing here. And we have somebody else bolting too. Is that Pulowski? Pulowski, his teammate goes to the pits. Team orders. Ooh, one-on-one here. Bevo, are we open? Trying to break that slipstream is Pat. Bevo back to the outside. More speed down the straight side by side. Who gives up? He pushes it hard. Takes it as an outside pass. Makes it stick. He's on the soft, so he can do that. Bevo now will be eyeing that top 3 again. Still having the DRS going in. That was a bold move. He made it stick. He didn't give up an inch. Unbelievable pass.
Absolutely.
Simster still our leader, but Jonesy. It's going to come down to holding off Tintoretto, who is on softs. But we might see those start trailing off towards the end. Bingram actually went back to mediums and did not go to softs. I believe he's toying with them. Drunk Pirate. Ferrari quietly 4th. Boy, would Ferrari love a podium this weekend, or this week in Tier 2.
Don't sleep on them. Lewis was down in 13th right now. He's not having the best of the races. But hey, welcome to Tier 2, sir. It's a little tougher up here.
Was part of this last year, and he put up the occasional good quality time, but stuff would happen.
I don't know how I feel about that right there. Tintoretto seems to be making a move on Drunken Pirate. Drunken Pirate's somewhat in a ghost state. So because of that, I think Toretto tried to drive through him as if there's ghosting in the lobby and didn't really treat him as a tangible car. I don't. The stewards might have to have a look at that. That didn't really seem to be the best racing etiquette of the circumstances.
I don't really know. It's such a weird predicament. I don't think Boyer's actually in the race. I haven't seen a message. I haven't looked at the Discord to see if there's something up, but I will note that at this point in time, we do have Alfa Romeo 1-2. I'm gonna be a first. Jonesy will eventually inherit that lead. Simster might. He's got some things up his sleeve, but them tires have got to go.
They gotta go.
They got to go. Bingham already getting back around Ferrari, speak of the devil here. But we got penalties, though. Because right now...
You said someone can get 26 laps out of a soft. So if that's the case, it is conceivable to get 30 laps out of these mediums.
But that's...
That's only 14 laps. 30 laps. Yeah, it'd be 30 laps. He can't do that.
Yeah, he's not going to...
That's strict. You just need 30. You need 14 more laps. You have to do 30 to hold that.
Yeah, wait on that safety car.
And even if the tires can make it, they can't make it with optimal speed. You wouldn't be able to keep those tires that old and keep these fast guys off his butt. At some point, he's got to change it.
Mm-hmm. Especially his teammate who is getting closer. Right behind that is the Merc. Tinto on the softs. He'd be wise not to push that car too much. He's right there. He's right there just waiting for it. Next up is Bevo on the softs, closest one. He's actually on fresher softs. It might be too far back to make a difference, but Bingram he's 4.3 behind Bingram, who is right on the tail of the Ferrari. And Bevo with another penalty.
We've lost quite a few drivers so far. We got Dylan's out. Boyer, we don't know if he showed up or not, if that's his car, if it's AI, or that's him. We got just Coconuts, CSB Harris, and AFS Natty. Some really fast guys are already out of this race.
And Lizalbo checked in. I believe Lizalbo is the one that drove those softs for like 26 laps.
He was like 51 laps. He came in for the final lap and changed the tires that way he can have not be penalized for not changing his compound. Other than that, I mean, he was a beast.
Looks like we got Tintoretto got around Jonesy, but Simster would have hadn't pitted, so we do have a complete change to the lead. Tintoretto on the softs. Might be taking time on though, because we have Bingram who did get around Drunk Pirate during that segment, and AlphaTauri is going to be running down the mediums. Can Tintoretto create enough distance to where he doesn't use up too much of those tires? Bevo also in fifth, but again, we'll show you the penalties. So he would have to win by 3 seconds. Currently, Tintoretto would actually be on the podium, and Jonesy would win. But we all know that's going to change. So Bevo, 9-second penalties. He's not finishing fifth. Arctic Penguin, 15 seconds. He's not finishing seventh. So.
Pelosi just made a move on Lucifer, who slid off the track again. So that might have gave him another penalty. Let's get another penalty.
Lucifer might be the one that ends up triggering that safety car at some point. But Tintoretto, Jonesy is a little bit catching now, but Bingram's also catching them. Drunk Pirate right behind with the DRS open, managed to get within the zone, the bone zone.
Got 9 seconds.
Here we go.
As far as penalties go, we got Tintoretta with 3 seconds. We got Bingham with 3 seconds. We got Vivo with 9 seconds. Pigman with 3 seconds. T-Mouse with 6. PLR Crew Steamers with 9. Archie Penguin 15. He just switched spots with Pelowski. Pelowski went up in 11th. Pigman dropped down to 12th, and Pelowski had 3 seconds worth of penalties. Paul has 9. Landy has 6, and we finish it off with Luther. Lucifer also has 6 seconds worth of penalties.
Tintoretta really not separating himself from the from Jonesy. Might come back to bite him.
He's not separating himself from the cluster of people with penalties. The only ones who do not have penalties right now is Jones, Drunken Pirate, Patty Pat, and Simster. Everyone else has been penalized.
Well, Ghost Boyer doesn't have a penalty either, so.
Yeah.
Ghost Boyer. It's haunting the track of Mexico.
Hey, at least he's doing. At least he's courteous enough to be on the bottom of the grid. Nobody has to fight him for position. You know.
He's just hanging out, I guess. As we get here, it's starting to. I don't know. It's kind of even. Nobody's really gaining, but he's not really separating. It's like Jonesy. Double the life tires of Bingham at this point. Drunk Pirate 10 laps on those tires. You might be right about the safety car not happening, but it seems like I keep looking up. It feels like the race is moving further than what it is, and we still have 11 laps to go.
We have a lot of laps to go. We do. I think these guys being so heavily penalized already. I mean, you would think at this point you really can't push the boundaries. Either you're going to crash the car, or you will wind up with another penalty that will essentially take you out of contention. Because everyone who's got a penalty so far, with the exception of Simster, has at least 2 penalties.
1.2, just constant across the board for the lead. It's weird because Jonesy doesn't get it out, and there goes Tintoretta on the pits. Bold move, Cotton. Let's see how this plays out. I don't know about that. He could have made it work, but where are you going?
He's going to come back out of the mediums. Got about 11 laps, 10 laps left.
I don't know about that. That's a bold ass move. Jones.
I don't think he had a choice. I think.
What? He went back to softs. He didn't go to mediums. He went back to softs.
He went back to softs, but I'm saying if he didn't pit, they would have just chased him down.
That's a good point. Not a great position. I mean, it seems like some of these people are gambling on the safety car. So, Jonesy inherits the lead. Bingham is second. Pirate is third. Bevo is fourth. But those 2 penalties just throw that out the window. But the one thing I will say, it is very possible for Bingham to take this lead with 10 laps to go and win this by 3 seconds, as long as he keeps it clean from here.
I tell you, I'm really glad it didn't rain because we got all these penalties right now in the perfect conditions. Can you imagine what would happen in the rain? This would be madness.
Yeah, they would just explode. That's it. Just blow up on the track. It's will turn into Twisted Metal. It'll be over.
We'd accidentally be playing Wreckfest, you know?
Yes. He's not within a second entering the zone, but that speed might still get there. He's on fresher tires than Jonesy. Jonesy can still nurse this home.
We got a nice little fight for 5th between Patty Pat, Stentor, and Simster. Those guys are really going at each other.
DRS should be open, yeah.
Yeah, Patty Pat got out of the way. Really courteous, great driving, Patty Pat.
Yeah, Pat's on those old tires at this point. It's not really me. I think Simster's going to try to make a move as well. Cannot get around him. Tintoretta is on the fresh softs. Not up to temperature yet.
That's that 10 laps on those mediums, so I don't know how long he can keep people behind him. Patty Pat, I don't know if you can do that, buddy. You got to slide out of the way. Come on now.
He's been doing that. He's been doing that this. Yes, he's been doing that this race. Little switch up there didn't work. Oh, you see the Haas back in come around on Pigman Man. Good little battle here. Still trying to keep an eye on the leader separation. Bingham is in first. So
somebody just went off. Who went off? Oh, I missed it. Dang it.
I don't see anybody dropping in the section. Bingham is now in the lead. Can he? And he's already got a 3-second lead, so Bingham is in position to win this race. Sector 2, don't see anything going on. Mouse to the penalty now. Jonesy's out. He's in the pits. Not out of the race. He's in the pits. Bebo jumps up to third on those 10-lap old softs. I don't know if that's going to make it. They still got, what is 8? I got 8 to go.
Drunken Pirate is absolutely the front runner. You could essentially say he's leading this race.
Well, again, unless he's upped his penalties, that's still 3 seconds, right?
So far, he's yet to get one. So I have a feeling I don't. You make it through 28 laps without a penalty, you're gonna get through the other 8. It'll be okay. That's
gonna be up to Bingham. Bingham still win the race, but he just has to win by 3 seconds. He's currently up by 3.7. So for some reason, Jonesy would probably pit it because it was just he was getting run down on old tires. I mean, it was just stop. You know, it's just like bleed out or just take it. You know, so. As somebody asked in the chat. Now it's up 4.2, so Bingham can easily double up this up and win this by 3 seconds. It would just come down to an incident on the circuit. Like Lucifer down here. It's coming out of the pits now. We get everybody in the last, 3 or 4 spots are on softs now to try and get the fastest lap. Yeah, I agree. Only 10 laps on mediums. He would have easily made it. Not really sure why. I mean, Bingham would have gotten around him. Tintoretto and Bevo spots. Bevo is in the pits now on those old softs, so definitely not the case. Might be a shootout here for him to the end. God, man, 7 laps to go. It's in my mind. I keep saying 30, but it seems like every time we shuffle through, the track goes around quick, but these laps just aren't going away. So
it's really a pretty long track too. You know, it's like. I don't know. I really need to start driving it more. There's actually a lot of Mexican descent within my family, so we cook a lot of Mexican food. We do a lot of Mexican type celebrations. So you would think I'd make that a lot more of a home track for me. You know, considering the people in the family are, so connected culturally.
Oh yeah. We got distant cousins, or my niece, niece. She's Mexican. Or she's mixed. But, yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. I must be mixed with something. They're all a bunch of mutts, you know? Every one of them's a little mutt. But hey, it's like that sometimes. We all come from a collection somewhere. You know?
Back to the racing here. Bingham now 4.6 up. Don't see him, like I said, the only reason I think he loses this race is we get a safety car with only like a lap or 2 left. Where he can't win it by 3 seconds. This guy's a whole nother world of talent. He's shown it.
I think what's incredible is we made it through 30 laps, and not a single driver had been lapped. That just shows that all of these guys are on point. I think every single person in this race right now is capable of winning the race within this season. You know, so you never know what's going to happen. You look at how the grid is formed, and you see mathematically where people are. You never really know because all these guys can drive.
Completely agree on that. These times are getting pretty tight. And you don't know what gives and who's better in the wet versus who's not good in the wet, you know, stuff like that. So we'll see. Bingham might be absolutely terrible in the wet versus, you know, what he's able to do in the dry. So we know that Drunk Pirate's good in the wet after last season. And, boy, they are really getting spaced out right now. Really don't see much happening here. We'll go back to Jonesy, who did pit. Him and Bebo are right there chasing down Penguin for 7th.
Well, Tintoretto took that fastest lap down at Tintoretto took the fastest lap. He's down at 1:15.997, giving him an extra point if he can hold it.
It's not really gaining too much time though on Drunk Pirate. I mean, they're both on the podium. They both got penalties. So at this point, you know, Pat doesn't have a penalty. It's kind of questionable some of his stuff today, to be honest with you. But the fact that Pigment Man is 11 seconds behind Tintoretto, Pat would not fit. Well, no. Pat might have a chance to get a podium here. Might.
Maybe.
Might. Because right now we're looking at Drunk Pirate would still be second. I think Tintoretto would fall off with that 3-second penalty. No. Tintoretto would still get third. But 16 laps on those mediums for Drunk Pirate. He probably can make it, but he might lose some ground. But here's the thing. Once again, Tintoretto had the chance earlier to extend his pace on fresher tires and didn't do it, and here we go again. Sun's going out right now with Drunk Power. I think that stuff's starting to fall off because as I'm saying that, Tintoretto is closing. Now down to 2.2. So basically those mediums are not getting through these tight sections and chicanes very well at all. 1.9 now. Yeah, Mexico is not one of my favorite tracks, but there's worse. Get
Absolutely.
Russia and Shanghai off the off the calendar and come talk to me.
I'm glad Vietnam didn't come back. Oh my God.
Yeah, there's that too. Tintoretto is kind of closing here. He needs to get up and get a gap going.
What do you think of Miami? Have you had any looks at it at the Miami circuit? Have you seen any Sims played on it?
I have not seen anything from it yet. I wanted to go, didn't happen. So right now we are planning for Vegas. That'll be the party of parties as compared to Miami. I'm sure a lot of Europeans are upset that we have like 3 or 4 races now. Well, we have 5 races, 6 races in the Americas, with 4 being in North America. So about to be 5.
It's not that they have a problem with being raced here. The problem is you got tracks like Monza and Monaco that are hungry, that are potentially dropped off the circuit because of these other American circuits starting to win. And I hope they will not do that.
They can feel free to take Singapore and take Bahrain off the thing too. Although Bahrain's gotten better. I used to not like it, but again, you could definitely take Saudi Arabia off. So there's that too.
Please. Yeah, that one can go.
Yeah. Here we go for a battle here. Tintoretto does get around Drunk Pirate on the straight with the DRS. We got 3 to go. We got 4 to go. He does get it finally on those softs as Drunk Pirate's tires are probably really losing that grip through here. But they do seem to be separating themselves a lot from Pigman Man. Jonesy not really running him down, but Jonesy might be looking at a podium. It's going to be a lottery at the end of this to see who gets what. Here we go to the inside. Pat on those old mediums now. He's got the second oldest tires on the track currently.
Yeah, I don't see Jonesy. I don't see Jonesy getting on that podium. Something's got to happen. Something's got to happen with a podium position person for that to happen.
They swap back and forth, trying to cross each other up, go side by side. Thought they bumped. Pat is probably driving on rocks right now, like the Flintstones. Not really getting any grip, but you see Simster's right on his tail too on half the age tires. Simster can definitely be aggressive. Penguin right there on fresher, on softs too.
Even as he attacks Simster, he better defend because Arctic Penguin is definitely on his butt hoping for an opportunity to pounce.
Jonesy managed to get through, but Penguin manages out there in the island in that Haas. He ain't near nobody, and he ain't catching nobody. He's actually losing time, but nobody's really gaining time, which is just strange. Maybe it's because this is like the abyss of a track. It's just zoning out. Time just doesn't exist. I don't know.
Ooh, man, look at Simster and Patty Pat. We're really going at it. I think there's a lot of courteousness amongst drivers, and it's a very highly skilled tier in which you're not going to see astronomical gap between drivers. These guys are all too good. Any given day, one of them could be sitting on the top of the podium. Each one of these guys come into this race feeling like, okay, I got this one. So they crash early and they don't make points. Man, cheers these guys up because they know how good they are and how much work they put in.
Well, whatever strategy Pat is on did not work out for him, as we see everybody gets around him. Arctic Penguin also managed to get around him as well. We got it's pretty impressive. Again, like I said, the fact that Alfa Romeo, they're side by side with each other, much like last season was with, I believe that was the Alpines with Sam Brooks and the other one. I think it was Drunk Pirate. They were neck and neck, and it was good to see how well they worked as a team. Because Bingham right now is destroying his teammate by half a minute. Tintoretto is, his teammate's out. Drunk Pirate is destroying his teammate. Pigman Man. Bevo seems to have been faster, but Big man's making it work. The Arctic Penguin, his teammate, rookie Just Coconuts, is DNF'd.
Jones just barely escaped the penalty. He went over that grass a little bit. He kept the last tires. They, back on this side of the line, and they would have got him because it looked like it was awfully close. I don't know how many warnings or anything he got, so I can't say he would have got a penalty. It might have been the first warning.
Now, it's worth noting that, what was that? So 7 seconds there for Drunk Pirate. So Tenoreto's actually got 6 seconds, so he cannot win the race. So you look at our stops. Penguin stopped 4 times. I think he was the one that went around early. Drunk Pirate on 1 stop looking to finish with that podium. No penalties. Jonesy, no penalties. So it might be looking at our podium there because Tenoreto will get bounced 6-second penalty. Jonesy did get around Pigman Man, so that will probably give him the podium. He finally caught up to him.
Yeah, but Sinister looks, not Sinister, Pigman, I'm sorry. It looks to see how many seconds of penalties he had and how high up he was. He's really going to be upset.
Here's our final lap coming around Sector 2 chicane. 2.8 lead on Tenoreto. Unless Bingram spins out, this will be him in the bag. Drunk Pirate. Jonesy 15 seconds back from 3rd. Strategy didn't work out for the win, but still won't be a bad finish. Pat down to 8th. Bingram nows are on board here. Coming into a little bit of lap traffic in front of him. One of them, I think, is a ghost. Tenoreto did kind of close up a bit there, but again, he's got 6 seconds in penalties. Through the stadium section, you can see everything going off. I don't know if they're fireworks or balloons. I am not sure. As we round at the final corner, and Bingram, initial winner, Season 6. Prospects Esports Racing League comes back, takes pole. Does he get the fastest lap? That's the question. Tenoreto is somehow in 2nd. I don't know if that's going to stay that way because of the penalty. Drunk Pirate 3rd. Jonesy 15 seconds in 4th.
Just trying to figure out what to do with him there. Yep, he's 4th.
No, see how Tenoreto is still in 2nd with a 6-second penalty. Penguin. We'll see what it loads at the end, but congratulations to Bingram. Didn't work out in the preseason, but that's why it's the preseason. When it counts is where it counts, and he takes at least 25 points in this first race of this season.
First race of the season. I know it seems like we got a lot of penalties and whatnot, but we really did not have a lot of mayhem. Guys tried to race clean, they raced tough, but they raced clean. It gave a lot away oftentimes, and it was really a treat to be a part of. Excellent racing, and fellow broadcasters, you were amazing.
Drunk Pirate takes a Ferrari to the podium. Hopefully it's a long line of those this year for them.
Hey, all right, now we can stop talking about Ferraris not getting it done, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right in the mouth. We're here to right in the mouth to start the season. So, hey, they're not going nowhere. They're not going nowhere.
What are they launching in the stands? I can't tell. Is it balloons? Is it fireworks? Is it feathers? I mean, it looked kind of weird. Who knows? Driver of the day actually goes to Pat.
Well,
Paul K kind of trailed off in the end there, but
yeah, I could tell you a story about a bunch of things in such an area being thrown, but I don't think they were anything of joy. Okay. No.
Bingram did destroy this. We see our podium there. So, Tier 2, PlayStation. Every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern. I think it's 10 p.m. BST or whatever it's called over there. Very exciting first race. Not sure where we're going next year, as you see there. Tenoreto managed the fastest lap by a lot.
By a lot. I think he crushed it.
Yeah. So, not a grand slam for Bingram, but still close enough. Tenoreto take that extra point. I don't understand. Did he not have 6 seconds and penalties? And he still finished 2nd? Blame Codemasters.
Who's the driver of the day?
Driver of the day? I mean, complete dominations. It's Bingram.
I gotta go with Pat. I think to have climbed so high up the grid, I mean, he fell back down to get through such a race with absolutely no penalties. I think that was a commendable set of racecraft. So, great job, all. Most especially to everyone on the podium, Bingham, Toretto's, Drunken Pirates, you guys were fantastic.
So we will see you next Tuesday for Tier 2. Not sure where it's at.
Hey, but who's going to see us tomorrow? Because I don't think we're due with broadcasting. We've got one more branch of our league to extend to you. Tomorrow at 10 o'clock BST, we have the Academy.
So, wait, Tier 3 is tomorrow, isn't it? The Academy's Thursday.
Oh, I take that back. I'm tripping. I take that back. I would have missed my own race, okay? I race tomorrow, Tier 3, but Thursday is the Academy. So we go all through the week from Monday to Thursday. We've got a full grid of entertainment for you all.
All right, well, until next time, I'm Feldman 9000.
Hey, enjoyed your company. You have a wonderful day, my friend.
You too, bro. Have a good one.